against the Norwegian wolf. Both have claws and fangs and big reputations, but they need confidence, cunning, strength and an iron will to survive. Let the fur fly.
Let the fur fly. That's a perfect description. And we have started, David. Do we see claws already?
Yes, we do. We see that Magnus Carlsen, he's actually gone onto his opponent's home turf. Jan Nepomniachtchi, ever since he was young, ever since these guys were rivals at a young age, he's been playing an opening called the Grunfeld defence as black.
Look what I've got prepared for you. I know that I'm better than you, even on your territory. Love it.
That's right, and we saw that on the last turn, black brought his king on the right-hand side of the board. He castled that king. He moved it across 2 squares. He swapped around the rook with it. That's what we should always do in the opening stage to keep our king nice and safe. What has he got in store for me? Jan Nepomniachtchi, he develops his knight towards the centre there. Very sensible move. He's attacking one of white's pawns in the centre of the board, and therefore white also brings a knight towards the centre. He also develops it, just keeping his central pawns nice and safe. And we see an advance in the centre of the board. Magnus Carlsen pushing forward. Lots of action here. Lots of pieces being traded. Bishops have left the board. Knights have left the board. White's bishop there has just zoomed up towards the black king to capture an opponent's bishop, an enemy bishop. Plenty of choice. Black's king has just recaptured this bishop here. 2 black pieces are under attack. White has a choice. Which one do you take? White has decided to take the bishop, and we see a knight in the centre. Lots and lots of action, and Magnus Carlsen has castled on the opposite side to his opponent. He's castled towards the left.
Yes, and we know that means, David, that means a war is about to begin.
Yay!
Both sides are going to go crazy and start attacking. We love it.
Yeah, that's right. So Magnus Carlsen has a lot of experience in this type of position before. Here we see he's pushed his bishop out to the edge of the board. Bishops are very long-range pieces, so he's just keeping an eye on a very nice long diagonal there with that bishop. Nepomniachtchi, he's got his head down. He knows, he's seen this position before. He's studied it. He acts like this when he's trying to recall what he's looked at before. Maybe he's got some coaches who've told him what to do in this position, but it's just a memory game. He's trying to recall things now, like blitz out those moves, to drop those moves on the board. And Nepomniachtchi pushes his king back. He retreats his king 1 square. Very safe move, but maybe a bit of a slow one. It shows that he's not attacking, he's reacting.
And one more very quick move from Magnus.
Yeah, this is all preparation for Magnus. He has been there on the board in this position in the morning to do with that central knight. Okay, and he has moved the queen to the edge
and
of the
look at the bar. It says this is completely winning for Magnus Carlsen.
I'm shocked. Magnus, he's frowning. I think
this is a blunder.
I think that might be a blunder. I'm trying to work out why Nepomniachtchi has played that move. So we see there, he's just shuffled his queen across. He's defending his knight right now, but maybe this knight is trapped. White can attack this knight one more time. He can push his pawn forward. Attacking this knight, maybe there's a trick, maybe he can move this knight. There's another option for Magnus Carlsen. He can break the connection between black's queen and black's knight. He can push his central pawn forward. Maybe this is the move that Nepomniachtchi has missed, cutting the coordination between his queen and knight. And suddenly, I think white is going to win a piece. I think that knight is doomed. If the pawn captures the pawn, white can trap this knight now. This knight has no safe square. It's pretty much game over already if Magnus Carlsen finds this idea.
Realised that he might have blundered horribly. Okay.
No, he will now. He will.
Nepomniachtchi's face, I think he's slowly starting to realise what he's done.
Oh, yes. He realises... Nepomniachtchi realises. Is this a loss for him in the first game already?
Already. Yes. Imagine Magnus Carlsen, he's still in his homework probably. He's probably even studied this exact position before. And Nepomniachtchi, he's just been caught unawares. He's been caught by surprise. I think he's going to pause here just for a couple of minutes. OK, he has played pawn takes pawn. We will see Magnus Carlsen's next move immediately. His pawn has advanced. White's pawn has advanced to attack that knight in the centre of the board. That knight is trapped. Nepomniachtchi, he's just got to find a way to try and survive, to just keep the game going as long as possible, to hope that Magnus Carlsen either gets nervous or makes another mouse slip. I think that's the only chance. But Nepomniachtchi's face there, he looks disgusted. He knows it's already game over.
Yeah, you can see it there. He has, I think he's emotionally absolved himself of this game, and that's it.
When he looks back on this match, I mean, for example, if he gets knocked out tomorrow, he'll look back on this game and think this is where it all went wrong. Magnus Carlsen actually not even capturing that knight in the middle of the board. That knight is still trapped. It has no safe squares.
Just teasing him.
Just teasing him, exactly. Yeah. He's just rubbing it in. He's saying, I'm not in a rush. I'm just going to prove my pieces. White brings a rook towards the centre. He will capture that knight when it suits him.
So much about, oh, let's take this move first.
That's right. So black has nothing to do. That knight has no safe squares. So he thinks, OK, I might as well push my pawns forward. And we see black pushes a pawn on the left there. It's the same side as white's king. Black, it's a dream now that black can try and push those pawns forward, open up squares, open up lines towards white's king. But it's going to be far, far too slow. And we see Magnus Carlsen, he's just playing with his food now. He's just teasing it. He just shuffles his king across one square. He knows there's no rush. Now he finally captures that knight in the centre. Black's knight has disappeared. He gets a pawn for it. And white, OK, Magnus Carlsen, he's not even pausing to think. He's pushed another pawn forward, attacking that black rook now in the middle of the board.
And we know Magnus, he you know, oh, another move. We'll take that first.
That's right. If we just bring up the board now, we can see that black is trying to create threats. He just has to hope for kind of a moment of madness from Magnus Carlsen. Black is attacking the white queen here. It's just a one-move threat. But white has so many options. For example, the queen could jump forward.
And it's been played.
It has been played.
That is like the perfect attacking square for a queen, especially with black's pawn formation on the right-hand side of the board. Just look at it, it's right in the middle there. So Nepomniachtchi really trying hard. He has pushed his leftmost pawn up the board and he's trying to indicate some kind of aggressive intentions. But at the end of the day, it's just a pawn that is attacking white's king.
White's just trying to keep the king, his king shelter. He's just trying to keep it blocked. That left side of the board, white's king is just trying to maintain as much safety as possible. As long as black's queen doesn't get into the game, as long as black's queen is stuck deep in his own camp, then white's king is extremely safe.
Premium member on Chess24. And we also have a tweet from Vidit, who also is asking, there is a chance for me to play in the next event of Champions Chess Tour by voting me back in. If you're a Chess24 Premium member, please do vote below. And, you know, he played some fantastic chess, especially at the end when he came back, and he is such a nice guy. And I love the nice guys. So, and he has a great smile. So. Yep.
Another pawn has left the board. Magnus Carlsen did win a pawn. If we bring the board up, just to show the last couple of moves, very nice idea here by Magnus Carlsen. He did win a pawn in the centre. It is teamwork, the queen and rook ganging up together. This was actually a sacrifice, and we see another sacrifice. Black just shuffled his queen across the board. White has dropped his bishop, in the centre here. Look at this. The bishop is lining itself up with the black king. This is beautiful chess. This bishop is actually giving itself up. It's sacrificing itself.
It always seems like the most fantastic chess moves and the moves that are most remembered are the ones that finish with sacrifice, the queen sacrifice, or Bobby Fischer's pawn sacrifice, or also ended in a checkmate.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing that chess players, I mean, we hate to lose, but we hate getting checkmated.
And it has finished. Magnus Carlsen has won the first semi-final game against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Fantastic start for the world champion. Yeah,
that's, I mean, Nepomniachtchi, he's actually almost smiling there. He knows that was kind of an embarrassing game. Magnus Carlsen just wiped him off the board. We're only on move 26 and black has had to resign.